everyone, my name is Landy and I'm starting this YouTube channel to talk about my journey with the condition that I have. I know that there's a lot of women out there who struggle with the similar conditions that I have. I know there's people out there that struggle with chronic pain, and this is just kind of my journey and where I'm at with my IC and my vulvodynia and just some nervous system things. So this is pretty much just my first video doing my introduction, and I'd like to make other videos about, once again, like my nervous system, my IC journey, what is IC, what is vulvodynia, what constitutes as a chronic pain, and what is something that you can do to help yourself and in your journey, and to also add in some references like people that I know that have gone through the chronic pain, a group that I'm in that helps you with your chronic pain, and just some resources for you, like books and different things. So pretty much, I'm just gonna give you, like I said, like an introduction. I'm 27, I'm from Pennsylvania. I live a pretty normal life. I love to go line dancing, I like music, I love working out, surprisingly, because I never really used to like working out, and I work out at home. I really enjoy making people smile, laugh. I love spreading joy, and if you hear my dog in the background, he's chilling out. I love animals. I have a mini potbelly pig, which I think is a really cool fact, by the way. I love being in nature. I live in the country, so it's like my thing. So that's just a little bit about me. I was diagnosed with interstitial cystitis in my early 20s, and I was diagnosed with vulvodynia a year ago. And both things can be very crippling, very hard. When you get first diagnosed, you don't really know a lot about it, and there's not always a lot of information for people. It's just pretty much an inflamed bladder, and they don't know why, and sometimes the doctors will even tell you there's nothing they can do. So it can be very depressing and make you feel very low and feel like life isn't going to get better. But through this journey and in this introduction, I want you to know that I'm slowly having small wins with my health and my body and with this condition. And I always like to say this, and I probably say this like a broken record, but only because it's true. 1 year ago, I'd say probably in August, well, I'm not even going to say August, all last of last year, I had a lot of issues with my conditions. They started to flare up even more since like last April. And I always had flares since like I was diagnosed and stuff with this. Like I've had UTIs as well. I will talk about that in a different video too, but I would have different things going on. My body was just super sensitive, and I was going through a lot mentally. And I think that was like the beginning of my latest flare. And I would spend every day in bed. People would want me to go do stuff, and I wouldn't go, or I would go and be miserable and then go home early. Or I would just be super overwhelmed with everything. And then I had to go to work and pretend I was okay. It was just a lot. I was also a teacher, which is a very stressful job, and I love teaching, but it was like some of the hardest times I've ever had. But over the summer, I have really made a lot of progress. I joined a program back in February, and through all that process, I slowly started to understand what was going on with my body. And I actually recently just wrote a book, and it's in my description if you want to read it. And I'm hoping to write more books. I enjoy doing poetry, so maybe something poetry related, maybe something more about this condition, mental health. I advocate for mental health. I have ADHD, and I've had depression, anxiety, as I think we all have. Clearly you can tell that I stutter sometimes with my words, with my anxiety, so you know, I'm not going to edit it out because I think it kind of just shows who I am as a person, that I'm not perfect and I don't have always good days, and I'm just an average person. An average person who's been through a lot and wants to make a difference. And I like to think of myself as unique and awesome. I'm trying to work on my self-worth. So if you're stuck with these specific conditions, or you're just stuck with chronic pain or anxiety, depression, ADHD, autism, I'm not saying that those things are bad, by the way. Like ADHD and autism in the spectrum doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just learning how to live with it in a positive way and learning how to communicate in a world that aren't all neurodivergent minds. But yeah, so my hope for this YouTube channel is to just reach people who have been through what I have, or who feel like they're at their wits' end in their life with chronic pain or some form of that. My hope is to brighten people's day, to make a difference in the world, even if only one person sees it, that's okay. I know I'm not famous, I'm not delusional. I'm not saying that other people are delusional, but I know that it'll take time to build my YouTube channel, but I think I used to be scared to open up about who I was, and I was scared to do anything because I didn't want to fail. And I know even when I was in school, I wasn't the straight A student. I wasn't in a bunch of extracurricular activities. And looking back, I wish that I just would have done it. You know, I had some things that happened in my life that made it harder for me to do those things, but I also think I held myself back by telling myself that I wasn't capable when I was more than capable. And I hope you know that too. Even if you were a straight A student and you had all these amazing things happen to you, and maybe you even are famous. Not saying you're going to watch my video, but just saying everyone's in a different place in life. But this chronic pain things and the things I've been through can help you too. That's what I mean by it doesn't matter if you consider yourself average or if you consider yourself like one of the most amazing popular people on the earth. You can have relief as well. And one thing as humans we can all agree on is we all have struggled with something, whether it's home life, like family life, trauma in different forms, conditions, ailments, whatever it is. We've all been through a struggle, and I think that's what brings us together as human beings and as a community, and I really think we need more of that in this world. I will never be political. I will never talk about those sort of things. It's just not my thing. It doesn't mean anything. I just don't like talking about it personally. I think it makes my mental health worse. But anyway, I think the world needs more love and compassion and awareness. And it's hard to believe the things that I'm going to talk about, but I'm not the only one that has had this experience, and a lot of people have had relief and are living an authentic life that looks what it looks like for them. So I just hope and pray that you come upon my videos and maybe something I say or do may help you in your journey, because that's all I ever want, is to just help others, not to be better than anyone else, not to say that I have the answer to all your problems, just to know that there is hope in these things and that life sucks sometimes, but it doesn't mean that you can't live a beautiful life. Not that it would be easy or that it would be always great, but just knowing that you have hope, peace of mind to get through the next day. But that's all for my introduction for now. I'm going to start continuing to upload videos and maybe start promoting them on social media, but for now this is my first step. So I hope you come upon my channel and something I say helps you, motivates you, or makes you feel like this is a push for you to do something amazing. Alrighty, bye.